Hello everyone. So we are here today to interview the bansuri maestro Shri Partha Sarkar. Thank you for being here and answering to my questions.
Thank you.
So it's a big chance to have him with us because he has an incredible knowledge about Indian classical music and of course about bansuri flute. So today we will talk about how to make meaningful improvisation in Hindustani music. So first of all, I will talk about your profile. You are from Tripura and you currently live in Ahmedabad.
Yes.
You have started learning tabla at 5 years old and bansuri flute at the age of 8. With your father, Shri Kumud Ranjan Sarkar, and then your father's guru, Pandit Jugal Kishore Sarkar.
Yes.
In 2003, you have studied with Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia. And then from the singer Pandit Ulhas Kashalkar and the sitarist Pandit Partha Chatterjee in ITC Sangeet Research Academy in Kolkata.
Yes.
You started performing at the age of 12 and you have taught to hundreds of students, including me. You have practiced a lot and you have achieved a rare mastery of the technique of the instrument. And you have explored this music in a very elaborated way, and you are always very happy to share it with us and with the online community.
Yes.
I am of course myself a big fan of your playing because I find it very elaborated in terms of ornamentation, in terms of technique, precise pitch, laikari, so the games with rhythm, and of course a very meaningful improvisation. And so today I wanted to talk about several tricks that you have taught us, that you have verbalized, which help creating a meaningful improvisation in Indian music.
Sure.
But first of all, for people who don't know this music, could you tell us very briefly what is North Indian classical music or Hindustani music?
Yeah, of course, I will try. Though answer of this question it is very big because it's a traditional music. It's not the formation of a one time. It came slowly. So there is a lot of story. But I will try to say in brief. It's a traditional music and as well as it's a spiritual music, and it has started with very small things, but slowly many artists have experimented in this music and have given their best in this music, and because of that this music has came to in this world with the beautiful things. And that's I will say. And before that this music has to be performed in the court of the Raja Maharajas, because Raja Maharaj always fan of this Indian classical music. They used to call different artists from different region. And they used to come in the court of the Rajas and Mughals, and they used to perform in their courts, and they perform the raga. So this is the tradition we can say. And another thing is, what is North Indian classical music? If we say in another form, this is one sentence what I have told, but in another sentence, if we think what is North Indian music or classical music, or if you say what is South Indian classical music also, if in just a short form, then it's said to be a raga. Now the question arises, what is raga? The improvisation of raga is a North Indian classical music. The improvisation of a raga is said to be a South Indian classical music. Now what is raga? The raga is a combinations of some phrases and combination of mood. That phrases is creating some mood, because there are 9 modes, and according to that 9 moods they are creating some moods, maybe some sad mood, some happy mood, some very deep mood, like you are meditating, like this type of different moods are there. So that phrases are creating some moods, and that phrases is said to be a raga. Now when you improvise on that phrases which is fixed mood, but you are giving your thought process and improvising within that phrases. Here that is called a performing Indian classical music or Hindustani classical music.
Okay. And so, by the way, how is constructed a recital? When you perform as a bansuri player, how do you have an explanation briefly?
Briefly, yeah, of course I will go with that. So normally what you say, there are many forms are there, but which is very much popular form. One is Dhrupadan and another is Khyalan. So two forms are very famous. So my Guruji used to perform in a Dhrupadan. He is not used to perform as a Khyalan. So my Guruji is, even my father also, but my father used to perform in a Khyalan. He used to play Ek Tal Bilambit. He started with the little alaap and then Ek Tal Bilambit, then Dhrut Tin Tal and Jhala, like this. But when I been to my Guruji Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia and I have learned under him, then I have learned that he used to play in a Dhrupad style. In a Dhrupad, what is that? Alaap, Jod, Jhala, and then Bandis, improvisation. And but one thing is that in Dhrupad, improvisation is the improvisation of the bandish is set. There will be no tans. Only the improvisation of bandish in a different way. But in Khyal, there is the improvisation of raga in a tabla, in Ek Tal Bilambit, and then they improvise in a Dhrut Tin Tal or Dhrut Ek Tal, whatever may be, and they sometimes they perform as a tarana also. So then sitar, this instrumentalist has mixed both the things. How?
So Drupad and
Khyal. What I have seen, it's that they are using this Drupad alaap, Jod, Jhala, and then they go to the Dhrut Tin Tal or Dhrut Ek Tal, and that tarana, what I say just then Jhala type, because tarana is a na de 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 dhrut de 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 de, means it's na or the ta. These three words
sounds
is
of the
tabla, and no, to go the fastest way, to go as much fast they can do, because this na ta ra, this word is very easy to pronounce. So in tarana they always use these things. So and we can go nadi dinda nadi dinda nadi dinda nadi dinda, means you can go as much as fast can. So that thing we using as a jhala. So there is two jhala is coming. One is alaap, Jod, Jhala, and another is bandish is coming, and then Dhrut Tin Tal, and in Dhrut Tin Tal, extreme Dhrut Tin Tal, people are playing again that jhala.
Yeah, again Jhala.
Again jhala is coming. So like this is constructed, and I follow that one.
Okay. So of course, to be able to improvise, first of all, we should have proper knowledge of the rag.
Yeah.
We should respect
Very
the
important.
mood. So a lot of practice, a lot of listening, and of course listening, learning from a teacher, from a guru.
Yeah. This is very important.
Before, of course, jumping to the improvisation, what you insist on regularly, that it is very important to be totally focused in each phrase that you play, of course.
Of course. So first of all, a new student, where he has to be very, very capable to run on his instrument, though maybe sitar, soro, flute, or any instrument. He should know about the instrument very properly. That's the first priority.
The technique first of the
Yes,
instrument.
yes, not the technique I will say, but he should, I don't know what is the English form, means
have a control
over
the
instrument, fully control. Yeah. Okay. A student should have fully controlled about his instrument, fully controlled, and fully how is it possible control? He should know about the techniques little bit. like this gamak, neer, whatever ornaments these are using in Indian classical music, in Hindustani classical music. He should know about that, and he should know how to play also. First of all, that means it's proper clarity with the control, and he must be capable to play, to perform what he wants in his mind properly. The first is this. Second, now to understand the raga.
Yes.
Now the second one is understand the raga. So to understand the raga, first of all, that to learn a raga easily, though normally people say that, like my Guruji or all has said that you have to learn a raga, one raga under a guru, a lot of months and practice, like this you will learn, then only possible to learn. Of course, I believe them, and as well as I respect them. That's all. But what I have thing in mind also, there is another technique also to learn this too easily. How? A raga must have, since I know the raga as much as I have learned from my Guruji, a raga, if you see the raga properly, there must be a 10 to 15 phrase which we will complete in this raga. Means if you play this 10 phrase, or if you play this 15 phrase, if you know that, then raga will finish. Means you know the raga very well. So you have to practice that 10 or 15 phrase very properly.
The representative phrases.
Yes.
Typical phrases.
Typical phrases.
Okay.
Though if you go more close to that, then there must be 2 or 3 phrases which you can easily identify a raga. But why I said that 15 phrases? Because that 15 phrases will cover all the cones of raga. You can easily understand that raga. Yes, that raga can move this way also, that way also. Like this, you will understand the whole raga within that 10 to 15 phrase. So first of all, you have to learn or identify that 15 phrase. Maybe you don't know the raga. If you are listening a guru, or if you are listening a artist, a famous artist, and maybe you don't know the raga, then try to identify that 15 common phrases. That's the trick. If you know that 15 phrases nicely, and if you can play or if you can sing very nicely means according to how you have learned or what you have listened, then easily you can also perform a raga very nicely. So that to learn a raga is very important. That is the first my trick I will say. A student should understand that, try to identify that 10 to 15 phrase, not the whole class. Maybe you are learning a 2-hour class, Guruji is playing and you are also repeating and you are learning. But if you are giving concentration in all phrases, then you will be puzzled.
Okay. So now if we take the example of an alaap.
Okay.
So in the alaap there is this process to go from low sa, donc the tonic, so the tonic sa, to high sa, which is the goal of the alaap.
Yes.
And to show the various important notes that the raga has.
Right.
Of course, respecting the rules of the raga.
Yes.
So I guess there are many ways of improvising, but
yes.
You have told us very nice technique regarding the structure, how to approach those notes, how to evolve in the alaap or in the other ways where we improvise. And you called this technique, because of the different movements, opening, closing, landing, and complementary phrase.
Yes.
Could you make an example and also maybe explain a little bit about these concepts?
Yes, of course. I will try to explain. So first of all, we have explained that we have to know about that a raga, how you see the raga, that's very important. Before coming to this topic, we have to understand how we watch the raga so that we can play the game in that raga. It's very important. So first of all, I have already said that you have to know the 10 to 15 phrase, maybe 5 phrase, whatever maybe. If it is a small raga like Bhupali or Hamsadani, there must be 5 or 6 phrase and you can understand the raga properly. And now you have to move on that, you have to improvise that 5 to 6 phrases continuously. That how to do that I will tell you. So, but for at the beginning you have to understand a raga, which notes are very important and which phrases is the our main phrase. That's very important. First of all, you have to know that one. So for the moment we will take the example of a Bhupali, since it's a pentatonic raga. So it will be easy to make people understand. So for example, now in Bhupali we have to understand that which are the main notes. So which are the main notes, we have to know that main notes are said to be Vadi and Samvadi first, and Sa and Pa is sometimes it's come on Vadi Samvadi, but sometimes not. But in Indian music, Sa and Pa is the major, because this is the major scale they say. So Bhupali, now in respective of notes, if we say what is the raga, though the raga is not a note, raga is a phrase completely, it's not notes. People say that if you play like this, then it's become raga. No, this is not a raga. Yes, it's not Bhupali, it's not a raga. Okay, so first of all, these notes are applied in this raga, is said to be a notes, but that's all. So to play a raga, you should know the phrase with the ornaments, then only possible to explain a raga. So in this raga, which notes are Vadi Samvadi? Ga and Dha are the Samvadi. Now what is Vadi and Samvadi? You can easily understand that Vadi is a king and Samvadi is like a queen.
King and queen.
Yes, to understand the easily way. I will not explain more, but to understand easily, king and queen. So in a country, a king and queen is very important. People gives importance to them. So you have to also give importance in this raga. So, and another thing is that since they are king and queen, you have to be use this. It's a husband and wife relationship. How they use their life, how they live in their life, whole life. So like this, sometimes good with the good conversations. So here is also Vadi or somebody have to give a conversation. So since they are king and queen, so you have to give a conversation. So finishing on sa. Anyway, so this is the Vadi Samvadi. Now the main phrases. What are the main phrases of Bhupali? First phrase. Second phrase. Third phrase. Fourth phrase. So that 7 phrase is enough to understand the raga. If you listen every time these 7 raga and if you practice these 7 phrases continuously, then you will get the idea of the whole raga. Okay, so this is now explanations of a how to understand the raga. Now we will come to the first technique is how to improvise a raga. So now to improvise like a 1 hour or something like that, half an hour, how to improvise, then you have to get the idea. Now how to create the idea? First of all, you have to see that which note is you are going to show. So for example, first of all that you can show sa, dha, pa and ga, but not re properly, because re is very weak in this raga. Because you cannot, if you show this continuously re every time, then it becomes Shuddhaya. Another raga you will do. So try to show a bird means, and showing, what does it mean? Showing means lending on that raga. Lending on that note is said to be that you are showing. So lending note is said to be a showing. So you should not lend in re continuously every time. Then if you land continuously on re every time, then it means that you are showing, you are expressing that note continuously. So you should not express this re continuously, it should come in between your playing. You cannot show that. So that you have to know. Now, opening phrase. In Indian music, in Hindustani music, phrase is meaning like this. If you go in other music, maybe they can say that they can play like this. Then they can say, yes, this is some combination of notes, so it is also a phrase. But in here, this is not the phrase. This is not the phrase. Here is what the 7 or 8 phrases I have shown already. You have to remember that movement. So make the phrase according to that movement. So every time remember that movement. Don't go out of that movement. So the first phrase, how will you open? For example, I will start with the sa, then I will go to the dha, then I will go to the pa, and again I will go to the sa, then going to the ga, then going to the pa, dha, sa, upper tar saptak sa, then maybe I will go a little bit tar saptak, re ga, ga and pa like this, and then directly coming back to the sa and then finish. Alaap is finished. Like this we will go. So, first of all, showing the sa is very important because this is the major place. So this is opening. In the beginning, there will be no landing phrase. In the beginning, only the opening phrase and the improvisation of opening phrase, but that's all, and closing phrase. The opening phrase. Closing phrase. So that phrase, that's the complementary of the first phrase. Okay? Not landing. It's a branch phrase. Normally it's a do-mukhi phrase. We say the branch phrase means two mouths. Two mouth means one is pa is mouth, and then finishing at not a proper two mouth, because if we make the pa long, then it becomes to proper two mouth phrase. That I will show you in later how to make a proper two mouth phrase. But for improvisation, the opening phrase, when you are playing that opening phrase, you have to know that which note you are doing. Sometimes some notes you have to show like that, then again you have to come to the opening phrase. Your master will be the opening phrase. Now the improvisation will go here and there. That's different matter. That's your wish. So remember, you have to remember that. That's important. Now so that main phrase is important, but improvisation of the opening phrase is like this, showing sometimes pa, but again coming to the da and sa. Okay, and now after finishing, that one is complementary phrase.
Complementary phrase.
Yes. So what is complementary phrase? When you are finishing the phrase, means when you are finishing the phrase with the closing phrase, obviously name is closing phrase, then you complement with that closing phrase with some other phrase, but ending should be the same note.
Same on your subject.
Subject.
Same subject.
Same subject.
Which is the sa now.
Yes, which our subject is now sa. Improvisation of the first phrase. Like this, complementary. So this is the opening phrase and closing phrase. Now after sa, let's think about the da, because the da is the major, because she is queen now. Now how to show? After this sa little bit, then go think about the da. So how will you think? No, you have to remember this. Sa, pa, da. This is the main phrase. Now if you are closing the same thing like this. What does it mean? Means both the times you are playing the same phrase, that doesn't mean that closing. So it will look like that little odd than what he is doing. So that's the trick. You have to know how to close that. If though you are playing the same phrase, but still you have to understand how to close that. So sa pa da, because you are showing that note, so you have to wait here long notes. And if you want to close that phrase with the same phrase, but little what you call twist, you have to put there. So sa pa da pa, that will change. That sa will change. And another thing is that when you are finishing that phrase, means with the closing phrase, that closing phrase and the beginning, that opening phrase, if it is the same note or maybe the other note, in that closing phrase, just immediate note of that closing note, you have to make it little long.
To show that we are ending.
To show that you are ending. I have explained every time. So if you are doing like that, sa pa dha, sa pa sa dha, then it means that maybe you want to continue. You want to continue. So if you want to show that no, this is my closing phrase, I don't want to continue, so that is the trick, the extend that sa. Sa pa da pa sa. That is the trick. So closing phrase, and maybe somebody will ask that what is now the difference between the closing phrase and the opening phrase. The opening phrase means go directly to that note. Sa pa dha, going to directly note to that note, and closing is that to come little late on that note is said to be opening and closing phrase. That is the major difference. Okay. So sa pa dha, opening phrase. Sa pa sa. But another things we have to know is sa pa dha, sa pa. And then this is not nice. Maybe you will say that I have extended the pa and coming to the dha. No, since the note are the same, and if you extend also, then it will not become close. You have to place some twist on before the ending, and that twist note will show you the ending portion.
Okay. And now, there's also one more thing that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
When you open, you're showing the da, you're opening the subject, the topic.
Yes.
Once you told me, you made an image, so I like to visualize the thing, so I play sa, da, pa, da.
Yeah.
And then if you want to improvise this phrase, once you told me, and I made it in my mind as a copy, paste, add. So you remember, of course you're very focused when you play, you remember the exact phrase that you have played, your starting phrase.
Yeah.
And you will improvise that phrase by adding elements.
Yeah.
More elements. So the first phrase is short and simple. And when the more you improvise it, the more you make it little long.
Long, yes.
But you keep still the subject, the first notes that you have played, you have them in mind.
Yes.
And it's still there until the closing phrase.
Until the closing phrase. So it's very important that you have to remember the first phrase nicely. And another thing is, I should have seen, if it is a long phrase, now it is not a long phrase, if it is a small phrase, but if it is a long phrase, then we can cut it down cut it down also, and you have to know where the breaks is coming. That is also another trick. Okay, but we will go on that later, slowly. But for example, since it's the beginning of the improvisation of a raga, so at the beginning the long phrase will not come. You have to remember that you have to start with a very small and beautiful phrase and with a small ornaments. And what will be the ornament? This mead, a beautiful mead, and a little maybe khatka or something, sometimes like
depending on the ragas.
Depending on the ragas and what you are making. Okay, so this is closing phrase. So first of all, what I have shown, opening and closing. Now I will improvise in that part only. So now that is the important, where to break, how to improvise.
Where to cut and
where to
add.
Yes, now that part is coming. So first of all, we have made the home nicely, now we will decorate. Okay? So sa pa dha, sa pa, opening and phrase. Now the cut. Sa pa pa dha na. So I will show, though I will in playing I can show much more nicely because I am not a singer. So now the same break, but where to cut? Before the note of landing. So sa pa will be the same, and dha is my landing note. So what will add the ornaments in between that, the dha and pa, because sa pa will remain same, because there are major part is that at the beginning you can use ornaments to start, or you can use the start just landing before the landing notes ornament. These two plays is the major part to improvisation. But if you change the sa pa, then the whole phrase will change.
It will change. Okay.
This is the trick. So in your mind, since we are starting with the 3 notes only, so later when you will add more notes, then it will become little bit more complex. Then we can get more ideas, means different plays we will get. But since this is only 3 note phrases, so that's why sa pa. After that you can improvise, means you can add ornament, and then back to the dha, because you are showing that note dha, or at the beginning pa da sa pa sa pa da pa da sa pa sa pa da, at the beginning you have used, okay, or either in the just before the landing note. So these two major part is you can change only. If you change the rest, then the whole phrase will change. So you have to remember these things. I am playing so that you will get idea, because example is also important, because just I have said only.
Of course.
What I have used ornaments in before the closing phrase, because the closing phrase is, so what I have the ornaments used before the closing phrase, not the before of opening phrase. So what is the opening phrase? Opening phrase now. So in the middle, what I have used, I have break the middle portions and I have used ornaments, and before the closing phrase, I have used another ornament and back to the closing phrase. So in closing phrase, sa da, sa is become long. So at that time, before that, if you make too much ornaments, then maybe phrase change. But obviously, it depends upon playing also, how you use it also. But at the beginning, it's better not to do this. Okay, it's go to the simple way so that you can understand. Later, maybe you can, when you become expert, then do. That's different matter. Now adding another phrase with that big opening phrase. Opening phrase, but adding another phrase. Da pa da da na. That's the closing phrase is very important compared to the opening, because the closing phrase always indicate the note properly, because you are showing that note,
The target note.
the target note. So da ba da. So this is very important. So opening phrase maybe little bit you can change, because already you have improvised 2-3 times that opening phrase and back to the closing phrase. but always remember that not try to change the closing phrase every time. Because if you change the closing phrase every time, then your way of improvisation will change continuously and you will not get any idea.
There has to be some consistency.
That consistency phrases will help you if you give target in your mind, if you target with the closing phrase. Because that closing phrase will help you continuously to what you will play next. If you change that closing phrase every time, then you will lost in improvisation. Then you will not get idea of what to start and what to finish. Okay.
Could you give just one more example showing the note ga?
Yes, of course.
Bhupali?
In Bhupali. So after finishing, Re will not come. I've already told that Re is very weak in this raga. So directly we will go to the king. That is king is ga. So another thing, when you are landing in that king note, this ga, you have to give like long notes you have to play. Don't do like speedy phrase you should not play. Re, ga is showing that you are in this notes and sur, you are in the mood. That's very important of Indian classical music, how to improvise obviously, but which note you have to stay along, this Vadi, Samvadi, then that Sa and Pa, that you have to show along. So when I will show, we will go to the ga, then directly we will start that opening and closing. When you will approach to the ga, then we will play different phrases. It's not opening, it's not closing. So that is called the improvisation of notes. That is also another part. Okay. So how? So every time closing is, if I do closing, it's not look like every time. That's why I told you to twist before the landing. It's very important. So what is the twist in the hair? That twist.
And a slight pause.
Slight pause before and with re in somewhere like khatka. That's very important. So every time you have to know that where you are giving the twist and then you are landing, then it will become a closing phrase. Always. And you can say that's when I told that every time. Now every time we will go with the landing phrase. Continuously landing in which note? Ga. Continuous. Now no opening and no closing, only landing phrase. So landing starting from in different way, from different notes and landing in a single notes. That is called landing phrase. Okay.
Showing the king.
Showing the king. Okay. So landing in continuously 3, 4, 5 phrases in ga and then now closing. This is the closing pattern. Okay, this is the pattern of improvisation. Okay. Now two mukhi phrase. two mouth phrase, what I have told before. The two mouth phrase is that showing the dha and ga, both the way, how you will go. So, showing dha and ga. Understood? Showing the dha and ga. Continue. That is called two-mukhi phrase.
Two mouth phrase.
Two mouth phrase. Okay? So here four phrases is come. Like this you can increase also if you want. As an artist, it's depend upon an artist how he think. Two mouths I have told because the dha improvisation is different, but you will not land on dha. You have to show. If you land on dha, then what your subject has started, that ga chapter, it will go. So you have to remember that. So some people what they do. If you do like this, then your meaning will
It looks
change.
like the topic changed to
Yeah, you have to change the tone. So it's better to do like this. Maybe you can make it long, that note, but not what I told you. When you are closing, just immediate that note it will become long.
Yes.
Okay, but if you make it long, where you are landing in that which note, if you make it long, then does it not mean that you are closing that phrases? But if you are make it long of that immediate note of that landing
The
note,
note just
before
the target note.
before that target note, then it will show that you are closing. And after closing that dha, then you are going to the ga, then it will not look nice. Okay? So, finish? Now, complementary. That is complementary. Again, I told you before that complementary. So, a good artist always try to complement. So, it's very important when you are closing a phrase to complement with the beautiful phrase. Then your whole improvisations means if you are improvisation for half an hour, then it will become so beautiful you can't believe. So always now another the tricks of complementary phrase. This is the major part. What I told, this complementary of the first phrase in the last phrase. Now you can enter that technique inside also, means inside of this opening phrase also. How? That is complementary.
This is also complementary. It goes slightly faster.
Yeah, little faster and coming so sweetly and again showing to the dha. So that is also complementary. So my vision is that is not that complementary should be only at the last time. You can use in the beginning also, but you have to know where and how. So that's why in the beginning I told you that everything is possible, but you have to know where and how. Now if I do like this, then it will become light. Like classically, then you will get it. Because you have used at that moment where you should not use.
Okay.
So you have to know that but very small. But if you do then it will become light. So I have to understand. If you make that complementary phrase long too much with more ornaments, then it will become light.
Okay.
So be careful at that time.
Okay.
Only small one. Like this. But that's all. Then you can go to the pa and then dha and then sa and then back to the, when you will go to the up, let me show in the last maybe. Now improvisation of Tar Saptak is finished. Now you have to close all the chapter. So when you are closing that all the improvisation, now you are closing that chapter. At that time some techniques, little small techniques is there which makes it more beautiful. Okay, so now is important the ornamentation. Only don't forget about the closing and everything what you have learned. Now the ornamentation of the every phrase. Okay. With weight, huh? Means long note. So the improvisation, only improvisation of the first phrase in a different way. Now you can use Madhya Saptak, Tar Saptak and Mandra Saptak. But now you have, since you have opened all the Saptaks, now this is the point where you have to use all the Saptaks before the coming to the end of your improvisation of alaap. So try to use that. That is the artistic. Okay. increase the speed also. Now that's why you are playing little bit fast phrases. At the beginning we will not play. It should be very soothing and calm, and you have to start like that. Now since you have shown everything, so use some beautiful, some running phrase or whatever. Stoppage. So stoppage is very important, though I am not forgot to tell you that whenever you are changing the saptak, after finishing the mandra saptak improvisation, now you are going to change, want to go to the madhya saptak improvisation. At that time you have to give some stoppage. Ma'am, it's showing that I have now finished my mandra saptak improvisation. Now I will go to the Madhya Saptak improvisation. That's to notify people, or you should know that now another part of my improvisation will add now. First part is Mandra Saptak, then Madhya Saptak, then Tar Saptak.
Low octave,
middle octave and higher octave. So after finishing the lower octave, then you have to give a station, is something like station. So how it will come? Then you will go to the Madhya Saptak improvisation, and okay, and again then when you will go to the Tar Saptak, before in Tar Saptak, then improvisation finished, then coming to the pavilion again to the sub, Madhya Sab, because you are finishing. So many phrase improvisation I have already told you. So improvisation, and in the last,
so this part is to show that we close the chapter.
Close the chapter.
It can be either, so depending on the higher or lower notes that we are in the process of improvising. Or just to conclude completely the alaap.
Or
so
yeah, of course, yes, that is also possible if you don't want to show in between also. But in the last, it's very important showing, finishing with this. At least in the last, you have to show that you are ending with this thing. But maximum in tradition, according to the traditions, people always do like this, that after changing of saptak, they always do like this. When they will finish the mandra saptak, at that time they will not say, they will do like this, sa 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 sa, ra ra ga. Because only mandra saptak is finished, they will not go re ga re, they will not go.
We go step by step.
Step by
we
step.
don't show all the notes.
Like
we show our cards, not show all the cards.
Or the cards
since the beginning.
Yes,
we should evolve gradually.
Great, yes, evolve gradually.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And my last question
Yes.
would be So of course we can see many of your videos and your performances on YouTube, on Instagram. So I recommend highly that you go and watch and listen to them. But can you recommend for people who want to immerse themselves in this music, could you recommend several maestros that we should listen to as vocalists or instruments that you think they are good to learn the ragas properly?
It's very
There are many of them.
Yes, obviously, and very complicated also, because I cannot say that you should listen him, you should not listen him.
Maybe some artists that you like.
Yes, that's I can say that which I am like and whom I follow, and that I will say nicely, because they are perfection of singing or making phrases is so beautiful that I can easily understand the way how you improvise, what their thoughts at the beginning. Means for me it's very easy to understand if I listen them. So I will prefer like my Guruji Pandit Ulhas Kashalkar, because his way of singing, how he improvised stepwise, this is very nice. And as well as my Guruji Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia, because he always started from the beginning and stepwise he always go to the up. Then I will suggest the Ustad Amir Khan Sahab, I have listened a lot. Then Panditaji Chakrabarti, he is excellent. And Ustad Rashid Khan, I love his voice, obviously I listen him every time. Ustad Said Parvez, his way of playing, if you listen 1 hour, how he goes stepwise with the alaap, jor, jhala, rhythm, he is excellent in that. And like this, and many more are there, obviously. Venkatesh Kumar, I love him also. Venkatesh Kumar, his way of improvisations, his akar, and how he moves slowly and showing the phrases properly, that's I love a lot. So there are many artists out there.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
No,
it's precious
pleasure.
information for all of us. And let's see, we'll try maybe to make other videos in the future, but take the time to listen to this one, you have a lot of information. Thank you so much.
Thank you.